Hey friends, it's Jody with All About the Harvest, and I apologize that I haven't been posting. I have had some medical things happen, and I was traveling for work and a little bit of pleasure, and I've just been really busy. But I just had a procedure done on my neck and my back, and that is requiring me to be in this neck brace for a while and lay low. So I'm hoping to get some more content for you while that happens. So I wanted to do a quick little walkthrough of my garden this year. It has been doing amazing, just amazing. So my husband helped plant it because I was gone for 3 weeks in May, so he did a lot of the planting. I kind of told him what to put where, but he did the most of it, and then I just kind of helped out a little bit after I came back and rearranged some things that I needed to, or added some things as I needed. But it has been crazy this year, and we planted some new things, so I wanted to give you guys a quick look. This is, a far view. I do have some plants down here. These are some lovage plants. They used to be in my landscaping behind me. I had 7 of these. I realized I don't need 7. I probably only need 1, so I gifted 1 to my friend, and we pulled up the other 3 a few weeks ago, and now they're growing back, so I'm going to be selling those just because I don't need 7. So tomato, carrots, sorrel, some pepper plants, nasturtiums, parsley. This came back from last year. Last year I had planted parsley, it went to seed, and this year it just came up. Same thing with the dill. I planted dill, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and it just self-seeds every year. I already harvested a bunch of the dill, many dill plants. I harvested the parsley twice now. And it is like July 17th today, so it's, pretty early in the summer. A pepper plant, another pepper plant, another pepper plant, some arugula that self-seeded. These are my green beans. I've been harvesting like every other day from this plant. A shishito pepper, beautiful plant. So this is kind of funny. So these are watermelon. So I put them in there thinking that I planted honeydew, which was wrong. And then I got some free watermelon plants. I'm like, great, I don't have watermelon starts. And then I looked at my notes. I'm like, oh, I already planted 5 watermelon seeds, and they all came up. So what I'm going to do, because this is a raised bed garden, I'm going to let them drag over and kind of go in the walkway here. It's very weedy because I can't do the weeding. Forgive the weeds. Anyways, tomato plants, my basil plant this was so small, and it's huge. And I have harvested some already. Obviously I have to harvest some more. It looks like we got a little beetle or something that was chewing on that one. But that's a huge plant, so I'm loving it. This is a tomato plant. More pepper plants. So I also got some pepper plants for free after we already planted a bunch of pepper plants. We got some purple bells. We have so many pepper plants. We like to do like poppers. We make salsa, of course, and other things. I told my husband like what to get, but then I said you can get like 2 or 3 other pepper plants, and he got like a bunch of very hot ones that we're not really sure what we're gonna do with. So like this is serranos. I harvested like 5 or 6 already, and there's like just a bunch more on this plant. This year I think I'm going to be canning some of the what they call cowboy candy. It's like a sweetened vinegared kind of pepper, because we have so many peppers. More tomatoes, more peppers. These are like a snacking pepper. My husband bought these flowers. He also, bought some marigolds. This was the same as that orange one, but all of the red ones, they all fall over. I'm not really sure why, but I think he got them in the same pack. So these orange ones are doing well, but the red ones just fall over. Not sure. This jalapeno plant, look at that. So hardly anything here, and then it's split off, and it's huge. It's like 3 feet, 2.5 to 3 feet. It's pretty large. Sweet banana pepper plant. I mean, look at these. I harvested like 6 of these maybe off of here, and they're really large. Like they're larger than these. And this year what I did for my peppers is, after my husband planted them, because I didn't plant them, I wasn't here, then I went around each pepper plant and I put some powdered eggshells and some worm castings. So every time it rained, it kind of that went into the soil. I did that once, and then I don't know how many weeks after that, I added some powdered infant formula. My sister had some that expired, and she gave it to me, and I looked it up that you can put it in with your plants, right? So I put that on there, and my pepper plants are doing so well this year. They're ginormous. And I don't have any blossom end rot. Like I had some rot on my peppers last year and my tomatoes, and I don't have any yet. So, and we've had rain like for days. I'm in Wisconsin. So this is a squash. These are butternut squash. And I planted like a bunch of seeds in like April. Now this is crazy, right? It's been a weird year. So in April I planted some seeds. They finally came up, I think, at the end of May. But they weren't coming up right away. One was. And so my friend gave me, it's like this plant, and it's like a combination of a cantaloupe / honeydew. And so we planted that in there because I thought, oh, those squash plants aren't coming up. Only one is. And I know you probably shouldn't plant squash next to another melon, but I did. And this melon is doing well. So I'm letting the melon go into this area of our walkway. And I'm putting all the butternut squash, and I'm putting them up and over. So hopefully that won't cause a problem, but we'll see. So we have, it's a little hectic this year. The garden is doing so well. These are all Brussels sprouts. So my husband got a 6-pack of Brussels sprouts and planted them here. And those are just doing well. Another tomato. And then, so my cucumbers, I planted a bunch, or earlier I had sugar snap peas. I took those out because they were done. And then my cucumber plants were coming up. So those are going to take that over. I did try to put a small alpaca tomato plant in there that I got later for free. And it probably isn't going to make it. But again, I have enough other tomato plants. This is my squash plant. It is ginormous. It was one plant my husband bought. Put it right in here. We went away for 4th of July for a week, and I came back, and this thing was like growing everywhere. It was growing over there. It was growing around the corner. It was growing through this other thing. So what I decided to do, let me back up a little bit. What I decided to do was I put in this extra little trellis for some support. So this isn't permanently in here. This is just one that I had. So I just set it in there, and I started tying it up here, and then looped it to get up here. And some of the other ones were so long I could go directly from here all the way up here over this arbor. These are 2 tomato plants. I'm not sure if they'll get choked out from this or not, because it's not like cover, it's not like suffocating them. They still have room to grow, but they are getting shaded quite a bit, so I'm not sure if that'll be good or bad. We'll find out. This squash plant is growing like crazy, and I added some nylons. I cut up an old nylon, and I just used it as a tie so it wouldn't wreck their fragile stems, and that seems to be doing really well. So in less than a week, it went from here. It's over here now, so about 4 feet. It's pretty crazy how fast this thing is growing. So it was growing up between my 2 tomato plants here, and I just kind of tied it up here, and so we'll see how it does. It has fruit on it. I don't know if I got any of the fruit in there, but there are some pretty big. Here's one of them. There's some fruit on there all throughout. So I think I'm going to have a plentiful acorn squash harvest. I got some cucumbers on the vine, which is awesome. I got a 4-pack of cauliflower, different ones. This is, I think it's called Romanesco. We had another one that already we were able to harvest. It's a different kind. It was huge and big. We have 2 more that aren't as far along, so it's actually kind of nice. This is like a 4-pack variety, and it's like each one is getting ripe at a different time, so it's kind of nice. So you're not just having to have cauliflower for days. More tomatoes. This is the other side of that squash plant. Every few days I've been coming out, and I've been moving these where they need to go just to get them out of the way, and so they're not choking out everything, right? Look at this giant Marconi. I mean, it's bigger than my hand. More banana peppers. Yeah, this one will grow like upside down. I just had one that was growing straight up. It was so funny. I harvested it. So more peppers in here. It just is the backside of what you just saw. These are some pepper plants I started from seed, and they actually they actually took, so they're really, really teeny, and I broke them up, this one as well. So I'm not exactly sure what they are because I started multiples. I hope these are like little cherry pepper plants, but we'll see when they start producing. Again, another big one, just huge. I did throw some kale seeds in here. They're finally coming up. Arugula self-seeded, so I've been using that. I did move some tomato plants here on the other side of the green beans. They may or may not do well, but I knew they weren't going to do anything over by the squash, so I moved them. These broccoli I started from seeds. They were super teeny tiny. I'm hoping that we'll get a nice fall broccoli harvest. Some tomato plants. I planted some nasturtiums. If you don't know, the trick with nasturtium seeds is you need to scrape the outer bark per se, and then they will do well. I don't remember if I soaked them after I scraped them, but I know 100% that you definitely need to scrape them. When I didn't scrape them and I planted them, I didn't get any. And this year I direct seeded into the garden after I scraped them, and all of them came up. So that's a little tip. Oh, this is one of this must be the purple cauliflower. So you see it's much smaller. Here's one of the watermelon plants that I had gotten for free. So I planted it in here. We'll see how it does. These are my walking onions. I harvested a bunch. Walking onions, I love them. So these bulbils, you just pick off. Here's a cluster. See, they're already growing new ones and new ones. And so these are really ready to pull. I have so many that I pulled that what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start selling some of these babies because I have so many. Like, I have pickled them, I have done some really awesome things with them, but I just have so many. So I'll pull these, and then this will be more open for these watermelon plants to grow that I threw in here. So it's the first time doing that. Some tomato plants again. And my husband got some flowers to attract pollinators and whatnot. And so some of them did really well. Some of them kind of died off, which I guess is okay because I can't really put anything on that one anymore. I do have a hanging shepherd's hook. I can move them if needed, if those plants get so crazy that I need to take them off. This is the garden. I love it. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy gardening!